Well, on to this story now. One of the 5 men accused of killing soccer star Senzo Meyiwa is back on the stand today. The state is set to cross-examine accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi, in the High Court in Pretoria.
Well, on Friday, Ntanzi linked his disputed lawyer, Newzroom Afrika, to a financial deal which he claims was proposed by the police. The court previously heard how a deal with 3 million rand had been offered to Ntanzi to implicate people in the case.
Ntanzi has been testifying in the trial within a trial to determine if confession statements by him and accused number 1 were made freely and voluntarily. Of course, Linda Mnisi has been following this story and he joins us live now from the court. Linda, an early start for you, but this is a very explosive testimony that we heard from Bongani Ntanzi as we wrapped up testimony last week. These allegations of a 3 million rand proposal made to him to work with police. I think give us some of those highlights of what we heard last week.
Absolutely, Naledi. And what is interesting about this testimony is that this is a new version that he has never placed before the court, saying that Newzroom Afrika, who's the disputed lawyer, was involved in this deal for him to implicate what he says are the right people in this case. He previously told the court that it was the lead investigator, Brigadier Bongani Ntanzi, who came with this deal, and that if he took this deal, of course, he wouldn't, be appearing before this court, he wouldn't be arrested. But he now says that, it came also with this disputed lawyer. And what is also interesting about this, Naledi, is that this is the same man who he had told the court previously that he didn't know. You'll remember that he made his second confession before Magistrate Grenier, and that was before also Newzroom Afrika, who he said he didn't know, he wasn't represented on that day, and disputed that he was ever represented when he made that confession statement. On Friday, he tells the court that the reason why he terminated Newzroom Afrika's mandate was because he came with this particular deal, which then begs the question around whether or not he knows him. You'll remember he's been disputing all along that he knows Newzroom Afrika. Another interesting element is how he describes his interaction with him on that particular day. He says that he did ask him where he comes from, who had appointed him, and he says Newzroom Afrika told him that he had been called by his sister, and he says what he thought Newzroom Afrika was there for was to just observe the proceedings. But of course, all of that, Naledi, will be subject to cross-examination this morning by the state. The defense laid extensive evidence where he is involved. You'll remember also around allegations of assault, where he said that he was assaulted by police at various locations, and ultimately that takes us back to the issue around the AVL report, the GPS coordinates that were read out in court, which did not link with his story. So a lot of that will be under focus today.
Yeah, that's well. We're going to be watching those proceedings and that cross-examination closely today. And of course, Linda Mnisi, our reporter, keeping a close eye on things, and he regularly tweets as well some of those updates. So do follow him as well. Linda Mnisi speaking to us there from the High Court in Pretoria.